Hello, everyone. How are you? And welcome to Monday Night Live. Hello. I don't know why my camera is it's looking very not focused, but we'll be switching over to my better camera in just a minute. So, welcome, everyone. I'm going to set these aside. So, tonight we're talking about creating colorful palettes. So, let's switch over. And I am going to, hang on, let me switch over to the better camera. Perfect. There we go. We're going to be talking about creating your own color palettes. And what do I mean? Well, with your projects, creating things like this, your own colors, choosing your own colors. Now, I get it. I'm not going to say stuck, but I get my favorite colors and I use them over and over and over in various shades. But sometimes it's good to add something a little bit different, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, I am going to start talking about the color wheel, but before we do that, that is my giveaway. One of you is going to get the pocket color wheel from the Color Wheel Company. It's not the same one. I've had this one for years, but they're basically the same. So I'm going to use this one, but somebody is going to win this. And right now we have got the giveaway tool working in the background, selecting your names from your comments. And before we say goodbye tonight, we're going to run that and we will give you one of these. Okay, perfect. So one of you is going to win a pocket color wheel from the Color Wheel Company. So this one's going to be a little bit different. There's not going to be a whole lot of creating, not a whole lot of creating, but I'm just trying to help you understand maybe a little bit of color theory, how to choose your colors, maybe expanding your love of colors for your projects. Now, I've got Brianna here. She's in the background. She'll be helping me out. And she will also be sharing the link to the demo deal. So the demo deal, Brianna, I'm sorry, you're going to have to remind me. I know it's paper artsy paints, but for the life of me, I can't remember how with the percentage. I'm going to wait for Brianna to put it in the comments because I don't want to say, 15% off paper artsy paints. And she's just popped the link in there. It went to Facebook and YouTube, so you can grab that and save on some great paints. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about will be in reference to paper artsy paints, but you can use any of this with cardstock. You can use it with inks. You can use it with sprays. I'll be talking about it using paints, but don't worry, you can apply this to a lot of different mediums. You can even use it with your paste, your stencil butters, your Simon Hurley lunar astro solar paste, those kind of things. Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just some samples of color palettes that we've created and things that have gone with them. And Brianna was nice enough. She has brought in some samples where she used this website. And just wait, I am getting like way off my script of what I was going to talk about. Let's talk about the color wheel. Let's get that over first. I've been using a color wheel. I've had this one for a long time. I've probably had this one for about 20 years. So color theory, it's quite extensive. There's a lot to go into color theory. In university, it's an entire semester. So I'm not going to be able to share everything about color theory, but you can find a lot of really great YouTube videos and websites that will go into really depth explanations of how to use a color wheel. So what I'm going to be talking about tonight, just some basics, just some like for everyday crafters. Now, if you're a serious artist and you like using watercolors and all those things, you might want to do a little bit more of a deep dive into the color wheel, but I'm going to be sharing with you just some of the basics. Okay. So a color wheel, this is basically what a color wheel, they're two-sided. You can see there. It's used for mixing colors. It's used for deciding colors on projects, colors that go together, that complement each other, that will feed off each other. It's really good for creating harmonious color combinations. Um, but when I say harmonious, you might see some color combinations tonight where you think, why do those colors work together? Well, it's because of color theory. So a color wheel has two sides. Just going to wait for that to focus. Why is it not focusing? Okay, color wheel has two sides. So this side, you will see the outer wheel has your spectrum of colors. And I'm just going to move this around. So for those of you who don't know what your primary colors are, go back to kindergarten. Think kindergarten. Primary colors are blue, red, and yellow. And those are equidistant around the color wheel. So on this side, you have your spectrum of colors. And then this inner wheel, which turns, that gives you the color mixing chart. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with, I'm actually going to start with yellow. So here's our color yellow. There we go. Yellow. So if I move this around, what it's showing me is if I take yellow and mix it with orange, or sorry, with red, I'm going to get that color. If we take yellow green, mix it with yellow, I'm going to get this color. So it helps you with color mixing. So what you can do, say you've got, I don't know, let's say blue jade, which fits into our blue green here. If I was to take jade and mix it with, I'm glad Brianna's here. Here we go. So if I take jade and mix it with yellow, so my blue green, mix it with yellow, I'm going to get a brighter green. I hope that makes sense. So if you've got inks, paints, pastes, whatever, and you want to know, okay, if I mix these two colors, what am I going to get? Grab out your color wheel, go, okay, I've got a violet and I'm going to add red to it. What am I going to get? Well, you're going to get a brighter violet color. You're going to get the red violet, obviously. Violet plus red, red violet. Make sense? Now, not only does it do that, but it also gives you white and black. So white will give you a tint, black will give you a tone. So if you want to say, oh, okay, I'm going to grab my red, I'm going to add black to it. What am I going to get? Well, you're going to get a darker tone of that red color. So there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of really tiny writing on here, which at my age, I need to, get it at the right thing. But color wheels are really great. And I've used one for years and years and years. So if you don't have one, and you can actually print these off, there's free ones you can print off online. You don't need to buy one. I like mine because it's, like I said, this lasted me for a really long time. Okay. So that's on this side. This is your color mixing side, and it helps you with mixing your colors. Now, if we flip it over, this is our second side. You can see all the way around the outside, you've got your spectrum of color, just like you have on the other side. But this will give you your color relationships. So in the middle, you can see it's got some shapes in here. You've got this one that goes straight across. You've got your complementary colors. Um, oh, first of all, I should point out, you do have your primaries, your red, your yellow, and your blue. Those are your primaries. And what I mean by primaries is they're considered your building blocks of all the other colors, because those three colors, red, yellow, and blue, cannot be made using any other colors. They are your building blocks for colors. And I've said this into my Explore class. If you can't afford all of the paper artsy paints or all of the inks or all of the whatever, get your primaries. Get a red, get a yellow, get a blue. get a black and a white, and you can create any color that you want. You don't need to get 100 colors of paints. If you have red, blue, black, and white, you can create anything that you want. Hi, everyone. Yes, I remember memorizing the color wheel. I remember that. Yes. Okay. So those are your primary colors, your red, yellow, and blue. Now, your secondary colors are from mixing your primary colors. So if I mix red and yellow, you get orange. If I mix red and blue, I'm going to get violet. So they're equidistant apart. You can see if I mix this one and this one, I'm going to get the one in the middle. Now these ones off to the side, so the blue violet and the red violet, how do you get those? Well, if I mix red and violet, red violet. If I mix blue, move this around. If I mix blue and violet, I'm going to get blue violet. Do you see what I'm doing here? Now, another suggestion I have, and I love Paper Artsy for doing this, and I believe it was 2023. They did 2023 or 2022. On their blog, they did a whole entire year of color theory, and it was amazing. So you can go to the Paper Artsy blog. You can, I think you can search color theory or color wheel, and it's amazing. They did an entire year of blog posts on color theory, color wheel using their paints, and it was absolutely amazing. Okay, so going down here, so if you see this arrow directly across, that gives you your complementary colors. And what do I mean by complementary colors? They create a strong contrast. That's what those colors create. Sorry, I have to turn my page on my notes so I don't forget to talk about anything. Okay, so complementary colors. So they create a strong contrast when placed beside one another. So say I go to yellow green, one of my favorite colors. One of the colors that's going to complement it, give it a pop, is going to be a red violet. So those colors, although opposite the color wheel, are going to be complementary colors. What is split complementary? If I lift this up, you can see this triangle, this tall triangle here. So your split complementary, if my base color is my yellow green, then my split complementary is going to be red and violet. So it's going to be on the opposite sides of the complementary color. That's why they call it split complementary. So sometimes when you're looking at this, you're like yellow, green, red, and violet. That I think is going to hurt my eyes. Trust me, it's not. And sometimes it depends on how much of it you're going to use. If this is your base color, you're going to use more of this color and less of these two. You're not going to use them in equal amounts. I hope that makes sense. Now, there are there's triadic. Triadic is the next one. It is the bigger, the wider base triangle in the center. A triadic are equally spaced around the wheel. So if I turn this triadic to yellow, you're going to see that the bottom of that is going to face blue and red. There are your three primary colors. So if we just move this over to yellow-orange, here we go, yellow-orange, my triad colors will be blue, green, and red-violet. Now, these colors may not, if you look at these, you look at that, Adam, and you're like, oh my word, I do not know if that's going to work. It's all about experimentation. But if you follow the guide of your color wheel, it's very hard to go wrong. So stepping it up again, we've talked about two colors, we've talked about three colors in a triangle, and now we're going to go up to the tetradic. These are four colors on your color wheel. So if I hold this up to the camera and let it focus, you're going to see that there's a tetrad that is a rectangle, and then you're going to see a tetrad that is a square. So the tetradic colors can create eye-catching color combinations using four colors. So it just depends on where you move it to. So if I'm looking at this back tetrad, the square one. So it's got orange, yellow, green, red, violet, and blue. Beautiful color combination. Chromatic. And what do I mean? Monochrome, one color. Sorry, my screen just went black, but I think I'm still good. Okay. So monochromatic. So if I pull it up and I've got it on here, let's go over to here. Let's go over to red. Okay. So here's your pure color. Your pure color is red. This first color, that's the one where you add white. If you add white, you're going to get pink. White and red make pink. Your next one is if you add a gray color. If you add a gray color, you're going to get a tone. Your bottom one, if you add black, you're going to get a shade. And I'm just thinking back when I first started talking, I think I said adding black, you would get a tone, but you get a shade. So if you look on your color wheel and say you've only got red and you're like, what color can I do? Because I just don't want red. What am I going to do? Well, if you add white, you're going to get a lighter color. You're going to get a tint. If you add gray, you're going to get a tone. And if you add black, you're going to get a shade. A little bit of white, you're going to lighten it a little bit. If you add in the same amount of white, you're going to get a pink. And if you add in more white than of your pure color, you're going to get the lightest. You're going to get a pastel color. I hope that all makes sense. It's a lot of information, but a lot of it you can find on the internet. It's like I said, color theory is a very intense course if you want to learn everything. But this is just your basics, and it's just basically to help you choose colors, maybe in a different way, or to help you choose colors. Now, analogous colors, just to give you one more thing to think about, are colors beside each other. So those three would be analogous. So a yellow green, and a green. Or I can move it over here and let's do a yellow orange, a yellow, and a yellow green. These are analogous colors, colors beside each other. Oh, yes. I see your question, Lynn. Brianna did put in a comment of the color wheel, and this is the one we sell. The one I have is old, but this is the one we sell. It's from the Color Wheel Company, and I actually, it's very similar. They look pretty darn similar. Yep. So there you go. This is the one we sell. Okay. Now let's get on to some fun shades. I'm going to pull this in. Now, this is where I'm going to need Brianna because I'm actually going to leave. I'm going to leave the screen and I'm going to show you something that Brianna created. Okay. So I hope Brianna is okay. Perfect. So this is one that Brianna created. And how do I get rid of that? Oh, there we go. So this is one that Brianna created here. So you can see we've got a gray, we have a sage, we've got a myrtle green. This one's called Timberwolf, so it's like a lighter gray. And then we've got red. And so she used it to create this background using cardstock. So this website is called coolers.co. Now, I'm just using this. I use it for free. You can purchase a membership if you want to get all the bells and whistles. I'm using it for free, and coolers.co is not paying me any money to share this with you. I just like this website. I like how it's gotten me out of my comfort zone of colors. I'm also going to mention, Brianna, I hope you can hear me. I can't see any comments right now while I'm off this screen. So if you see any questions, you might want to unmute yourself and let me know. But look how cool. Sorry.
No, I was just saying sounds good.
Okay, so, but look how cool that background is. Now, while we were getting ready, I decided to go into my paper artsy paints and pull similar colors from this palette. So we've got jade, which is this wonderful color right here. London bus, which matches that red. Wintergreen, which is kind of this gray green in the middle here, and limelight, which is this brighter green here. So you can see how you can take these colors and it looks like I'm missing a color. Maybe not. Oh no, I don't think Brianna used all the colors. That's what I'm seeing. She used 4 of the 5 that I have on here. Let's get rid of that color. There we go. That's what she used right there. So you can see when you choose your colors, when you're looking at this, you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know how I'd use that. But look at how she made a background using cardstock. And I picked colors using paint. So you could do the same thing using your inks, your sprays. You can do it all with the same. Now you may have to think about opacity. I didn't even look at these. I've got 2 translucent, a semi-opaque, and opaque. So while I've got you here, I'm going to put Brianna's to the side. I'm going to grab a tag and let's just paint these colors, the same colors that she used here and the same colors that you see on the screen. I'm going to put them on my tag. So I hope, I know color theory can be, some people find it maybe a little bit confusing or hard, but trust me, there's lots of information out there on the internet that you can go and find information on color theory. Sorry, just had to go over to my, I'm going to put that one color back in. Okay, so let's do, what color do I want to do? Let's start with this one. So like I said, I'm not really creating anything. We're just talking about colors maybe to put on your projects. Now I'm doing wet paint into wet paint, so I'm not, and I'm using a dry brush. I'm not, just want you to see how colors can blend together. And let's do this one. That paint had chunks in it. Let me get rid of that. And I'm not going to tempt fate by using this paintbrush with my red, so I'm going to grab another one. So like I said, you might be looking at colors and going, oh, there's no way those colors will work. But if you grab a website like this coolers.co and use it to help you, you can see that you can create backgrounds with colors that maybe you wouldn't normally gravitate to. This would not be a palette of colors I would naturally gravitate to. I would look at these colors and go, I am not doing that. I don't think that's a great idea. But then you come to the website, you see the colors, you choose your colors, you put them down, and you're like, oh my gosh, those do work. Like, look how easy that was. We've got one using cardstock, one using paint. Okay, I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to set Brianna's way over here so I don't get paint on it. Now, I'm going to show you another one. But I need to wipe this up first. Now, you do not need an art degree to understand color theory. You don't. It might take you some time to kind of understand the basics, but once you understand it, and if you continue to use it, it will just become sort of second nature to you. Okay, now here's another palette I want to point out. This one here. This is another one that Brianna created. And you can see here, there are the colors that she has chosen. Now, when you're looking at this, these are very analogous colors. You're going to see, your pinks and your reds, your linens, which your linen would be your neutral color, and then your yellow. So you've got a lot of analogous colors, and then you're adding in kind of a greeny blue. But look at how beautiful that is. Now, I didn't have time to choose my paper artsy colors for this one, but you can see not normally a color palette, especially for me, I'm very blue-green. I love blue greens. Not one that I would naturally gravitate to, but I love this color combo. Now, do you have to use 4 or 5 colors every single time? No, you don't have to. You could maybe cut out a couple of colors. Look at how beautiful those 3 are together. You wouldn't necessarily need to use 5 colors. Maybe you want to cut out this one. Look at how gorgeous that is. So it is up to you. You want to use 2, 3, 5 colors on your project. Go ahead, do it up, go crazy. Now, I will show something. I'm going to put that one aside for just a moment and bring this in. Let me bring this in. Now, before I switch back to my main screen, this coolers.co, like I said, I don't have a paid subscription to it, so I can't choose my colors, but I can generate my color palettes. And all I have to do is hit my space bar on my computer. Now, if you're using it on a tablet or a phone, I believe it's called regenerate or generate, and you can keep doing it. But on my laptop, I just press the space bar and it just gives me different color combinations. And I love it. Now, maybe you get to one and you're like, well, I love those, but maybe I don't want to put that really dark color in. Maybe I just want those. Or I don't like that color. Wow, that really got really bright really fast. Love that. So it's a great website. It's a great website to help you choose. Now, this isn't the only color palette website out there. Brianna, I'm going to be switching back to the main one now. It's not the only color palette help out there. There's other ones. This just happens to be one that I'm enjoying using right now. I'm going to show you this. Now, I'm doing an online class right now. My camera is crooked. Here we go. I'm doing an online class right now. It's a Tracy Scott class. And Tracy gives you her palette of colors. I decided to go a little bit wild. I decided to go rogue. I am not normally one to go rogue when it comes to color picking. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. So I decided I'm going to go to coolers.co. I'm going to run it until I find a palette of 5 colors that I liked. And this is the palette that it gave me. Now, I'm a green blue girl. Maybe that's why I fell in love with this one. I love smoked paprika. Maybe that's another reason why I fell in love with this one. But look at these colors. This one is blue. I got Magic Moss. Blue Bayou. I've got smoked paprika and persimmon. Oh, thanks, Kim. I really wish I could said I just picked these colors out. Nope, I had help from a website. Kathy, she uses an app called Pocket Palettes. Love it. Allow one to select a color from a photo or cardstock. Pick the color scheme you want to use in your layout. Amazing. Pocket Palettes. See, there's so much out there that you can choose to have help. So these are the colors I chose. Now, I'm not done this class, but this is how it's coming together so far. Again, these colors, not a total palette of colors that I would normally choose for my projects. I would not normally do this, but I am loving it. So what I did, and I didn't save my coolers.co screen, but I did make my own little palette here. So I thought this would be something really great to do when I do it. And I pick a palette of colors or paints to make my own little palettes to choose from. So then I can put these together, have them here in my craft room. You know, maybe it's like, oh, I remember I made that color palette. Love that combo. I'm going to use that again. Maybe I'm going to pick some cardstocks in these colors and use them on a scrapbook paper. Maybe I'm going to make a card background, you know, maybe something like this, but I'm going to use these colors. So if you don't know already, I love colors. I love colors. I love paint. I love inks. I love sprays. I love all the things. So this is my way of saying, enjoy all the colors. The rainbow is there for us to love all the colors, right? Am I right? Oh my word. I know, it's so much fun. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to choose colors that you normally wouldn't gravitate to. Now, I just looked over to the side here. I'm going to bring this one back in for a second. Now, I have a few colors that I think might work for this. I just need to find a yellow. Hang on. No, oh, that's definitely not the right color. Do I want, no, not that one. See, yellow is not a color I normally use. Oh, there we go. So let's see. I've got cerise, I've got jade, I've got yellow submarine. I don't need that one, but I do need maybe vintage lace. 2, 3, 4, and a lighter pink. Now, I could use cerise and add white to it, but since I have 8 million colors of paper artsy paint, there we go. So those are the same colors that I used right here. Whoops, there we go. Look at that. Now, I'm not going to grab out all of my Tim Holtz inks or Lisa Horton inks, but if you don't have paint, that's fine. Use your color theory, use your color wheel, use a color palette generator website, and use it with your inks. Use it with your stencil paste. Use it with a combination of sprays and inks. I'm just going to put my colors out here just so we can. Now, the other one I just brushed on, but I'm going to do something a little bit different on this one. My discussing of color theories went a lot faster than I thought it was going to. So I'm just going to grab a stencil really quick here because I wasn't really prepared to do this, but give me a moment. Just going to sure this stencil will work. Okay, so what am I going to do? First of all, I need to grab a brush. Okay, so here's my tag. I got my colors. Let me move this up so you can see my paint colors. There we go. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so glad that you're enjoying learning just a little bit more about color. Like I said, we're just really just scratching the surface when it comes to color theory. We really are. This is just the basics of the basics. So if it is something that you're enjoying, I really do encourage you to get online or to go on Pinterest. I know somebody that I really enjoy on Pinterest is Kay Werner, Christina Werner. She has some wonderful palettes of distress and distress oxides. I refer to her Pinterest boards a lot. Don't worry, didn't ruin it. It's all right. It's all good. Oops, oh well. Isn't that what our good friend Dina Wakely says? Oops, oh well. There we go. Save the day barely. Okay, cool. Let me just give this a dry. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to grab out a stencil. Here we go. Grab out a stencil. I'm going to grab, what am I going to grab? Thinking the thoughts. I am now, so I've used the yellow and I've used the vintage lace. That's what I put on my background with just a smattering of the cerise. Just a smattering. I'm just going to grab a foam. I'm going to mix these two pink colors. So remember, I'm working with the same palette that Brianna used on that card background. So I'm not going to use the entire stencil. I'm just going to use some of it. Maybe we want to come in with a little bit more of that yellow. There we go. So I've used the same colors that Brianna used on this card background here. So you can see how choosing colors, like, I look at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, those colors are amazing together. But if I was to look what stencil, I don't even, it's an older one. I don't think we have it anymore. PS 408. I don't think we have it anymore. It's quite old. If I was to just pull out my paper artsy paints, I can tell you right now, I would not automatically pull out these 5 colors. I'm just going to say right now, I would not be like, yeah, let's go with that, because my eye can't see how those would work together. I normally would be like greens and blues, and let's add in a white and maybe a yellow. That's how my brain thinks. So now there are a lot of people who can look at colors and just pull things out and be like, got it, love it, this is totally going to work. But look at that. We're using, why is my screen so bright? I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't know if you're seeing that or if it's just me, but my screen all of a sudden went very bright. Let me see if I can hold this up, see if I can get it to focus.
Yeah, we're seeing that too. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening either. Why is it going so bright?
Do you have something dark you can pull into, like, I don't know. Technical difficulties.
Oh my word. I don't know. There, I just shut my light off. Did that
Helps
help?
a bit. Helps
There.
a bit. Yeah.
It helps. There we go. Okay, so there are the colors that Brianna used. I used the exact same colors and made that tag. Like, how different? Like, it's just, I just love it. Like, it's just, color theory is just one of those things that fascinates me all the time. Like, I just love how it works. And I love how I can use something like coolers.co or my color wheel and choose colors that my brain won't normally gravitate to. So this is me telling you, explore the beautiful colors, step out of your comfort zone, step out of that nice cozy little box that you've made, and choose colors that maybe frighten you a little bit, that maybe, you know, that maybe will just help expand your repertoire of colors when it comes to creating your cards, your scrapbook pages, your mixed media projects. Like there are ways of stretching and yes, challenge yourself, Kelly. It's always good. It's always good, no matter how long you've been a crafter, no matter how long you've been learning or creating. It's always good to keep learning, to keep trying new things. Yes, it's great to learn new things, right? Like it's absolutely amazing. And there you go. So thank you very much for those card backgrounds, Brianna. They really helped. Okay, well, that's everything I had to talk about. I only know I went 45 minutes, but we are doing the giveaway. Let me bring that back in. So we are going to be giving one of you your very own pocket color wheel from the Color Wheel Company. We do sell these at the store. We actually sell a lot of them. They're very popular. We do have a class set. We bring them out during Explore classes. So it also helps people there. But one of you is going to win this tonight. So Brianna, I'm going to go to the giveaway tool now. And we're going to click draw. Is the screen ready, Brianna?
Yep, it's good.
Scrolling through names of everyone who's commented. Linda Zambori, you're our winner. You have won the color wheel from the Paper and Ink Boutique and the Color Wheel Company. So congratulations, Linda. We will have this waiting for you at the store for the next time you pop in. Okay, I'm going to pop back over here, see if there was any final questions before we let you go. And let me come back up to my front camera. Oh, and now all my lights are off. So now it seems really dark. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I hope you've learned something about color theory. Like I said, I've just given you just kind of the basic, but for everyday paper crafters like us, that's pretty much all you need to get through and to be able to choose some amazing colors. Don't forget to check out those websites that were suggested, coolers.co. And for the life of me, I can't remember the one that Kathy suggested. Was it paint palettes? Could have been paint palettes. Or you can search your own. If you search on paint palette generator or color generator, you can find tons out there. There's tons of pocket palettes. Thank you so much. Tons of ways that you can use it. Also search K Werner, Werner. That's Christina Werner. She has some amazing distress color combinations on her Pinterest boards. Absolutely stunning. I've pinned it and I love going back, especially if I'm if I'm needing to choose some colors, because she's got all the names, she's got the palettes, and it's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everyone. Have an amazing evening, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for another Monday Night Live. Take care and congratulations, Linda. We'll get that. We'll get your color palette to you ASAP.